Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Recently my friend Kaitlyn of Kaitlyn Elisabeth Beauty tagged me in her blush tag video, so thank you for that. So today I'm going to finally do that tag. I'll leave Kaitlyn's link down below so you can check out her channel. Make sure you subscribe because she's just awesome. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep this really short just because I know my last or like 2 videos ago, it was super long. So let's jump right in. What was that? So I've actually combined some of the categories together just because even though I have a lot of blushes, I realized as I was going through these questions that they all revolve around like the same brands and so on. So I figured that was probably the most efficient way to do it. I will also leave all the questions down below. So then that way, if you decide to do this tag, then you know what the questions are. So first category is best packaging. So for best packaging, I had to go with the Charlotte Tilbury, what is this? Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop Blusher. And I have this in the shade Ecstasy. And I really like the packaging because it's really sleek, it's pretty slim, and it just has sort of that old Hollywood feel because it's like that nice oval shape, it's very smooth, it's this like deep mahogany sort of color, and the accent is basically rose gold on the inside. I've shown this in the past, but it has like the same sort of rose gold around the edge, and it's just, you know, all in all just a really beautiful, you know, higher end blush. So definitely beautiful packaging for this. I combined Prettiest Colour and Everyday Blush and Most Used because I feel as though all of those are pretty synonymous. Like, you know, prettiest, like how do you define that? I mean, I figured it was, you know, if I use it every day, then obviously I like it. Anyway, let's stop rambling. I picked 2 blushes for these 3 categories because these are the 2 that I use the most. And so this is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Blush in Piaf and Poe. And I know, and I've mentioned in the past, that this received a lot of mixed reviews, but I really like the color. It leans more on that sort of warmer rose tone, so it's beautiful, you know, and wearable for every day, and also because there's no shimmer, it's really practical. And then the other one is Clinique Cheek Pop in Fig Pop, and I know that kind of looks similar, but Fig Pop actually runs a little bit more on, I would say, a little bit more of like a terracotta. So it actually gives a bit more of a natural sort of flush. So that's why I like that. So yeah, I mean, those, yeah, definitely those 2. So again, those 2 qualify for Prettiest Colour, Everyday Blush, and Most Used. I'm looking down here because I'm looking at my phone just because I wanted to keep this organized and rolling. Alright, Most Pigmented. And I also combined this with Favorite Blush Brand. And I'm going to have to say it's the brand that I actually have 5 blushes from, and it is Tarte. So Tarte has been criticized by some as having like kind of juvenile packaging because it's plastic and it has like their name. I don't know. Some people just say that it kind of looks like a toy, but I actually quite enjoy the fact that all of their blush packaging reflects the color of the actual blush. So this one is actually extremely pigmented. This one is in the shade Flush. And yeah, a little bit goes a long way for these Tarte blushes, which is why they're so great. Like this one looks like I've barely used it, which like I have a bunch, but still it looks pretty pristine. And just one swipe, and there's the color. Like that's not even a lot. So with the Tarte blushes, I would say the only drawback is that, you know, use a light hand and then work your way up and, you know, build it up if you would like to. But yeah, you really don't need to. Like when I just put that on my hand, try to blend it a bit, there's just a really nice color payoff right away. So yeah, Tarte is fantastic. Just, you know, just because I have them out, I have it in the shade True Love, which is sort of like more of a strawberry berry red, but leans more on the pink side just because in comparison to Natural Beauty actually comes off as more of like an actual red tone blush. And I showed you Flush. And I also have Tipsy, which is a really nice sort of bright coral sort of orangey color that's like perfect for spring and summer. And then this one is a bit of a tease just because it used to have doll face, but my doll face actually fell one day and shattered to bits. and I didn't really have the time or patience to try to fix it. So I actually depotted Captivating from the Water Lilies palette, and I kind of didn't do such a great job at that, but I recovered a bit of it. So yeah, Captivating is a beautiful like pinky peach color. So yeah, those are my 5 Tarte blushes. Next category, Party Blush. Okay, I also don't really know what this means because, you know, in terms of a party or any type of event that I'm going to go to, I'm generally going to try to match my blush with my makeup. But I guess like sort of the most fun and versatile blush that I have is another Clinique Cheek Pop, and this is in the shade Berry Pop. And it's a nice bright pink color, which is really great because I was told a few years ago that bright pinks are actually really good at maintaining a very youthful look. Fortunately, I don't really have a lot of problems looking younger than I am, which is a blessing and a curse. So, but most people say it's a blessing and to stop complaining. Anyway, yeah, Berry Pop, I've mentioned this in favorites videos before, extremely pigmented. The Clinique Cheek Pops are just wonderful, like they have that beautiful sort of chrysanthemum design, and again, really great color payoff and blends easily, and yeah, basically anything you would want in a blush. The blush that I regret purchasing and the one that I actually use the least is the Benefit Majorette Cream Blush, and this is another like peachy shade. I remember wanting to buy this because it smells like fuzzy peaches, but like I really haven't used it much. I went through a very brief phase where I was really into the Bobbi Brown cream blushes, and then I figured like this would be really, really great, but I'm just not into it. And I think that I could also segue into least practical, which for me, I'm gonna have to say cream blushes. I mean, this is the Stila convertible color in Gladiola. I remember wanting this because I saw Estee mention it in one of her favorites videos, and like it's a really nice like orangey color again, but I don't know, something about cream blushes I'm just not really into. Like, I don't like getting my hands super sticky, so maybe that's the problem. But yeah, for me, I would say products I regret and least use are all of my cream blushes now. So I should probably just give them to friends so that way they actually will be used. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Best blush discovery in the past year. Now, I can't remember exactly if this was exactly a year, but we'll say, you know, within the last year, year and a half. It's the Laura Geller Blush and Brighten in Boysenberry, and I actually found this at Winners just because Laura Geller isn't really readily available here in Canada. So, yeah, for a while, this was actually my everyday blush. I mean, I don't know why I stopped using it, probably just because I started getting more blushes, but again, it's that really natural looking sort of muted rosy color. So yeah, I should actually, I don't know if you can see that there, but I should probably pull this back out and put it into my rotation because it kind of looks like it's a mix between the Kat Von D and Fig Pop. So yeah, so Laura Geller, like, welcome back to the team. Most practical. I would say like most practical is obviously, it should be about the same as my everyday blushes, etc. But I'm going to just throw this back to when I first started Teachers College. So this was in 2008? 2008. I started Teachers College, and I remember going and looking for like just really simple makeup because at that point I hadn't started wearing makeup regularly yet, and I wanted something that wasn't overly shimmery, and I wanted something that was, you know, just practical as the categories would suggest. And so I went to MAC and I actually bought Warm Soul. So this was actually my first MAC blush, and this is a mineralized blush, and again, it's a beautiful, you know, all these blushes are beautiful, but it's another sort of, yeah, it's muted sort of pinky peach color, and I would say this one is definitely really easy to work with. It blends there. Again, I don't know if you can see it, sorry for the natural light, but I don't know, this one will always have a special place in my heart just because, yeah, I bought it because I wanted to start looking a little bit more polished, you know, in Teachers College, whereas now I'm just a bum. Nope, that's not true. Wear way more makeup now. Anyway, Alright, I already talked about least practical, so let's go on to the last two categories. So the first one is most expensive. This is actually my Dior My Lady Canache blush. It is probably my favorite luxury blush that I own. Like, the design on this is just ridiculous. It's beautiful. I'm gonna say beautiful like 50 times. It's a really great bright pink color. A lot of these blushes you're probably thinking like, oh, those are the same colors. But if you think that, then why are you watching this video? Because clearly you're not into makeup and blushes. Yeah, so the Dior, like, this packaging on this is even like pretty substantial, like it's pretty heavy. I think I actually mentioned this in my top 5 blushes or something. I've mentioned this in a video before, but again, this is probably my most expensive. I believe this was like, I don't know, like $70, maybe $80. The last category is least expensive, and I don't have a lot of drugstore blushes, but the one that I do have, or, you know, I have 3, but the one out of the 3 that I love and is actually, I think it was actually less expensive than the CoverGirl. It's the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. And Luminoso is one of those sort of like drugstore gems because it's another, you know, you guessed it, peach blush. If I could open it. Here we go. Here we go. It is a shimmery peach blush, which isn't so shimmery that you end up looking like a disco ball, but it's really wearable and easy to work with and provides just a really nice, you know, subtle kind of sheen. Let's try to blend it here, if you can see there. I don't know. I should probably do a blog post like swatching all of these properly, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, that's it for the blush tag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of the blushes that I've mentioned, then please feel free to leave it down below. And who am I going to tag that hasn't already been tagged? I don't know. I will say if you're watching this and you would like to do the blush tag, then I tag you. I'm pretty equal opportunity. You do it if you want, or if you don't have to, because freedom. I tag Tanya, actually, my friend Tanya of Tanya Talks Beauty. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but I would love to see a blog post on this. And the same thing with, I guess, my friend Jody of Up the Roller Coaster. If you want to do a blog post about your, you know, top blush picks or doing the blush tag categories, then I will definitely look forward to seeing that. And maybe Chelsea. Okay, so I did know who to tag, but they don't have YouTube channels, but blog posts, same thing. Either way, I'm going to stop rambling now because I actually have to get going. So, yeah, remember to like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye!